Hey, you. Glad you're here. We are here to awaken the women we once were through radical personal responsibility, unapologetic truth, and the fierce grace of owning our power. Welcome to the Mesponsible podcast.
I'm excited to be here today with all of you. And what are we talking about today, Wendy? We were just going through our executive summary and it kind of lit a fire under us.
Born from the shared fire of two women who stopped waiting to be understood.
Mm,
And I remember waiting to be understood, hoping that one day somebody would understand me, feeling
mm,
like I was not understandable, and actually hiding most of myself and modifying myself constantly to be understandable. So somebody could, I think I was doing it so somebody could validate that I wasn't
mhm.
too much or crazy or too weird or whatever it was. And then we were talking like, do you care now if somebody understands you?
No, I don't. Like that's such a huge part of our growth and where I am now. When you said that, like, do you care now if people understand you? And it literally makes me laugh out loud because the
Right.
beauty of the work that we've been doing, the transformation that we've had, the work that we've done on self and age, our beautiful age, the
Hmm.
wisdom that comes with age. Oh, so
Hmm.
juicy, so juicy.
Oh, good. Oh,
And
good.
now I really don't. I mean, yeah, it still might, it might sting a little, but it doesn't cause me to abandon self like
Right.
it did in our 20s and 30s and even early 40s.
Right. Well, and the kind of topic that we wanted to give ourselves guardrails for was to do with our emotions today.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about taking radical personal responsibility for our emotions,
Mm,
and
mm,
then kind of with this slant of like not needing to be understood, that kind of blows the roof off of all of it because I used to need people to understand why I felt some way so that it
mm-hmm.
could validate that maybe what they did was quote unquote wrong and that I was right for feeling that way. I had a right to feel that way. And
And
like now it feels actually kind of comical, except for that I wouldn't want to make fun of myself for
mm-mm,
having felt that before. Because to be honest, that's the way I think we're raised and programmed. I think that's the way that normal people are. And I think it's normal to not feel empowered, to not feel so in charge of our lives, to not feel so
mhm.
responsible. I think that that's the normal.
Oh, absolutely. And I think the other piece to that is wanting the solution to be outside of us,
Hmm.
right? Like when we were wanting somebody to understand our feelings and when we were wanting somebody to make us feel better, because oh, I don't feel good right now. I need them to understand what they did wrong and how they hurt me and how they upset me or whatever. They made me feel
Right,
jealous or whatever. And we wanted them to change
right.
so that they could fix what we were feeling inside.
Right. And then if they weren't going to, if we knew that they weren't going to understand us, then pick up the phone and say, do you know what just happened? So that somebody else that is aligned with us will validate, like, oh, girl, you were right. Like they were so off base. And then you can go about feeling like justified in
Yeah.
feeling hurt or, and it's so funny because yesterday I was thinking offenses are not given, offenses are taken. Like, I take
Oh.
offense to what you just said. But it's not that somebody gives you an offense. You decide to take an offense. It's a very personal decision, and it is a decision. How we feel is a decision. But I wouldn't have understood that before. So, how do we help
Mm.
our previous versions
Yes.
Beautiful listeners, if you don't understand how to do this, if you're still picking up the phone looking for somebody to validate, I understand what that feels like. It feels like I might die if I don't get this validation. Like there's something inherently wrong with who I am if I don't get this validation.
Oh, yeah. The way that when you were saying that, the way that I actually learned this,
Yes.
25 years ago was through a counselor. Like
Mhm.
my ex and I were going to marriage therapy,
Yeah.
and um, I will never forget. He told us in that session and that he never gets angry anymore. And when he said that to me, I couldn't even fathom. Like, I couldn't even fathom a life without anger.
Right.
I was like, what in the world do you have you lost your mind, counselor guy? Like Mr. Therapist Zinni? Like,
Right.
how do you not get mad? Like, it seemed ridiculous that he
Right.
would even say that.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, he worked with us for a while around that, but what he helped me understand back then is what we're trying to help you as the listener understand now, which is I am in control of my emotions. I decide if I want to get angry. I decide if I want to be happy. I decide if I want to be jealous. I decide. My emotions come within. But up
Mhm.
until that moment, I had always heard the phrase, you made me angry.
Yeah.
You made me sad. You upset me.
Right.
You've pissed me off. That thing pissed me off. That thing made me mad. I can't believe those politicians are doing this and blah, blah, blah. And that makes me mad. Like
Right.
I was taught my entire life that people outside of me made me mad. I didn't know that I made me mad.
Yes.
And so,
Well,
go
yeah.
ahead. No, go ahead.
But no, I want to hear how you learned to do this.
So what he did was very kind of comical. And he was like, okay, I'm going to make you mad now. And he was like, get mad, Wendy. Be mad. Like I'm going to be powerful and I'm going to make you mad. So be mad. Get mad right now. Why aren't you mad yet? Get mad. Do it right now. Be mad at me. And I was gonna like because I wasn't really mad at him.
Right.
I couldn't feel that emotion just because he was trying to make me feel the emotion.
And because he was doing that, you were realizing, oh, nobody can actually
Make me
make me
mad.
mad.
Yeah, unless I choose to get mad at what he's doing.
Right. I choose to
Yeah.
take offense. I choose to
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this was, this was the beginning of the end for my previous relationship
Mm-hmm.
because that relationship thrived on the cycle of I'm I'm going to call it abuse.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's what's familiar to us. But it was like this cycle that would go around. And so part of the cycle required somebody to be very upset. Now, my go-to is not so much anger as it is like helpless damsel in distress and like crying and it's not
Yeah.
fair and why can't you just see it? Like,
Why
why
can't
can't
you understand how you're hurting me and you're
yeah,
upsetting me? Oh, gosh,
yeah,
yes.
that was my go-to.
Yeah,
So
same.
and
Same.
yeah, and so when I think back now, I remember the beginning of the end was when I was starting to learn that I don't have to get upset. I might
Mm-hmm.
not like what's happening, but I can accept it. And instead of being reactable, I became response able. I was able to
Mm.
respond instead of just getting triggered into an automatic reaction that I didn't think I had any control over.
Gosh, that's such a mic drop moment. Can you say that again?
Yeah. So instead of being react able to
Mm.
an event, I became response able and I
Wow.
chose how I wanted to feel. So, like today in my life, if my previous version could see my days now,
Gosh. Mm,
I
mm-mm.
start off my day with meditation. And during that meditation, I decide how I want to feel throughout my day. And that
Mhm.
has changed everything because the truth is like, yeah, there are times it might be appropriate and it might actually feel good to be a little bit angry.
Yeah. Oh, yes, yeah. I mean,
Absolutely.
we can do a whole nother talk about
I'm just,
using the power of our emotions and the energy behind the emotions. We'll save
yeah,
that for another day. We'll
let's save
note
that.
that
That's
one.
a really good one. Um, and like I find for the most part, I like to feel in love with my life. I like to
Mm.
feel, this is going to sound silly. I like to feel in love with me.
Yes. Oh.
I like to see me and go, oh, look at you. Look at what you've done. That feels good. I that feels good. That feels like what I was waiting for before. And now when I do it for myself, it doesn't actually matter what someone else does anymore because I'm
Mm-mm.
already getting what I need. I'm no longer got this vacuum looking for it from someone else because I'm giving it to myself. Does that make sense? Do you think
Oh,
our previous versions would get that?
that is the lesson. That's what we hope you take away from this is that past self, the one who was so disempowered, who didn't have control over emotions, doesn't love herself in this deep way that you're talking about now. Like, yeah, we loved ourselves, but there was also a really big part that didn't know our worth, didn't know our value, didn't didn't know that we got to hold the measuring stick. Like, I don't have one. I was going to see if I had a ruler, but that same counselor held up a yardstick. Like he actually had like an old yardstick. And he said, like, who are you handing the yardstick to? Who gets to decide if you're worthy, if you've done a good job, if you're lovable, if you're beautiful? Like, who are you handing the yardstick to? Who is over there, like, holding the yardstick saying, until you measure to here, you're not going to be lovable. Until you measure to here, you're not deserving of my attention or whatever else. And what you just articulated right there is I took that yardstick back and I got to say, I love me. I'm not passing it out here first,
Right.
right? Like we still want love from the other people, we still
Yeah.
get love, but you
Yeah.
attract who you're being, you attract what you're vibrating at. And if you start vibrating at love, then of course you're going to attract back to you love, right?
Yes.
But when you're in this place of, I don't even understand my own emotions. I feel angry and it's his fault or her fault or the TV's fault. I feel dysregulated and it's all these people out here until you can start to say, I am all powerful. I get to hold the yardstick.
Yes.
I'm the one who decides if I am love, if I want to be angry or not.
Yes.
And that's a big shift when you start to say, oh, I allowed myself to be angry again.
That's right.
Oh, I allowed myself to be dysregulated again. Oh, I
Right.
chose to not
Right.
be,
Yeah,
you
and
know,
to do with what somebody else thinks. Because the truth is, if we're going to hand out that ruler,
mhm,
sometimes we're not going to be enough. And other times, especially we women with our big feels, our big emotions, there's
mhm.
not going to be too many men that see our emotions going up here on the scale on that stick and go, oh my God, you're a lot. Like, you're too much for them. But who,
Yeah.
like, I love this analogy. I think this is a perfect tool for this week is
Mhm.
who's holding that stick. I love that counselor.
Oh, it changed everything for me.
Yeah.
And now I can say with like certainty, I don't get angry anymore. I don't.
No.
Like I might get sad, I might get frustrated, I might be annoyed, but I
Yeah.
just don't get angry anymore.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, 25 years later, right? Like this wasn't an overnight thing, but I've been learning and practicing and implementing. And now I'm the crazy counselor sitting on the couch trying to tell you, you don't have to live angry.
Well, and I think that brings up another really good point is
Yeah.
like you and I are both coaches, Betty, and
Yes.
we do this because we know how helpful those counselors were.
Yeah.
My life changed when I hired my first life coach the year I was
Oh,
40.
hands down.
Changed my whole life with the simplest little things. And
Mm-hmm.
so, I mean, also make sure you're getting the support that you
Yeah.
need wherever that is. You know,
Mm.
it has a beautiful program. I have a beautiful program. Like, check it out. We have links in the reader's notes, but ah, taking responsibility, radical personal responsibility, means being responsible rather than reactable.
Mhm.
Where
Yes. And you just sometimes need a bird's eye view to see from a different perspective. And that shift in perspective can change everything. Everything.
absolutely.
Just, I read something yesterday that said when you're on the bottom of a storm, like it seems so violent and scary and ominous and all of the things. But if you had a bird's eye view of the same storm, it actually looks quite beautiful,
Hmm.
right? When you're looking down on the top of the clouds, right? And so just having a coach or counselor or somebody help you just shift that perspective for a moment, it can change everything. It certainly changed everything for me.
Oh, me too. And eventually, in one of our episodes, I want to share what I call the thought model that I learned
Mm.
from another life coach
Mm-hmm.
that changed the way that I see everything all the time. And whenever I do want to spin out on an emotion, because we all have our own kind of hook that is most likely for each of us, we're also individual, that is most likely to hook us into some feeling some emotion. And
Yeah.
so, like a thought model, some way of learning how to think about it differently, how to see it differently, can completely change the whole situation without
Mhm.
anything outside of you changing.
Yes. Oh, it's so beautiful. And w- there's so much we can say about emotions, and we will have multiple
Yeah.
episodes about emotions. But for today, what I hope, even just this little bit that we talked about, the big takeaway for me is up until I learned this shift, I felt like a victim. I was victim of circumstance. I was victim of people. I was victim of like what I saw on the news, what I saw, a driver cutting me off on the road.
Right.
I was a victim of him being a bad driver and that would piss me off,
Yep.
or
Yeah.
or make me sad or make me upset. I was always in victimhood. Like it's all outside of myself.
Yeah.
And when I learned that, and the whole premise behind Mesponsible, right, is I learned I was all powerful. Um,
It's so
that,
true. Like,
yeah,
say it again. Like,
yeah,
say
just
it
that
again.
I moved from victimhood and being disempowered to being all powerful. And when you hand, like, I think of a young king who becomes a king at 9 years old or something, like, he has no idea how to use all of the power that he all of a sudden has,
Right.
right? He doesn't know how to do it responsibly or how to do it well, but all of a sudden he's been gifted like power of the entire kingdom, right? But he still has to grow up and he still has to learn how to wield that power.
Mhm.
And so I hope you take away today that you are all powerful. You are not a victim of the people outside of you in that sense, right?
Mhm.
And it takes time to learn how to wield that power and to hone in that skill, but it is achievable.
It is. So if somebody's making you mad, if somebody's
Mhm.
hurting your feelings,
Mhm.
and you're looking for validation and you want to post it on Facebook or Insta or whatever, or you want to pick up the
Call
phone,
your bestie.
yeah, call your bestie, whatever it is where you're looking for that validation, just realize that you have the power inside of you and you can change this. You can feel powerful. You can actually change it like we have.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And not in it's what you brought up also wants me to bring up that not coming from a place of judgment that you want that validation or that you want to call your bestie. You can do that too, but also just change the sentence from he made me mad to I got mad. I made myself mad when this happened, or I made myself sad when this happened, or I got upset. And just that little shift in your own mind. And then you can still call your bestie
That's
for a
right.
minute until you start to um master the skill,
That's right. But
right?
just
But
noticing
yes,
that you can give it to yourself first
yes,
will
yeah.
probably change that conversation with your bestie. So
Mm.
when you see that ruler and you go, okay, what is like on this ruler, what's happening for me that's making me feel this way? I wonder if that's a way to use it too. Like, what is happening on this emotion ruler? Where am I on this? What am I feeling? Hmm.
Yeah, like who first, what I did was first I would ask myself, who's holding the measuring stick? Like who
Right,
gets to measure me? Who gets
right,
to decide like if I'm
right,
good enough or whatever? Like
right.
who's holding it? When I take it back, then it's like, where am I on this?
This is so beautiful. I love the measuring stick.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got another one.
There we go. Thank you so much for listening.